Friends, this meeting is to just discuss a few points. You had some clarifications, etc. And I thought I needed to speak. How many of the National Committee members are here? 10, yeah. 7 of you are here. So we have to do a lot of homework. Like you must be seeing, till 2 months back, I did not know what Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan was or what the Right to Education Act was. Tikku just now came and gave me information that the minister has already spoken to Education Secretary that Rotary should be now involved into any discussions on education matters. So the matter is serious. Suppose at your state level you have to go and discuss the matters with any of the education minister there, or maybe the officials there. It would be good and worthwhile that you know your subject. Even the governors will be ready to listen to you, be motivated by you, or ready to discuss things with you when they find that here is a person who's a store of knowledge for me. I can, if there are literacy issues there, I can bank on this person. I'm not saying all this because I feel that it is not being done. I'm only reiterating the things because I realized over this last time when we met since then that it is really just. I think 4 of you have already had your meetings, the level 1 meetings. Ashoka, you've had a meeting. Rajendra Rai has had a meeting. Devashish had a meeting.
I think that's it, 3.
3. The rest 7 areas will need to have their meeting and as fast as it is possible because it's an entire cycle. The idea, I don't blame everybody, I can see how it is. The governors-elect governor nominee cannot at times come to a decision who their literacy chair is going to be. And I mentioned this yesterday also. They're unfortunate that they take 15 days to decide on who the chairman is going to be. And it has got nothing to do probably with caliber.
Yeah. We have a task ahead.
So it is a task ahead, I can understand. But let's now try to get it done in 15 days and then we get with the level 1 meeting. Are you all having enough material for the level 1 meeting, you feel?
You have put forward everything online and...
Yeah, the PowerPoint presentations have been tweaked, finalized, and I think they're absolutely all right now. And with Raja, the new PowerPoints that you have nicer looking than even what the earlier ones were.
2.1 is
No, the format, this new format is nice. You can share that. You can have, yeah, cosmetic changes are nice, visually more appealing. You could do that.
The training and knowledge level is okay, but what is the action plan, how to go about is not.
the rollout you are saying. After they are trained, what do they have to do in the...
Yeah. We were discussing, Venki and I just yesterday night we were discussing. While we are trying to make it a lot of to-do event, this one, it could not have gone into fine details as to how you're going to roll it out. Some places it's clear, but some places it's not clear. Another 10 days, what we had thought was, because we were trying to fix up things very fast, we ourselves weren't very sure. If you ask me what are we going to do in child development, we know the umbrella program, what is to be done. But if you want to get to specifics, you see specifics in certain things, let's say e-learning, we can give specifics. This is what we have, this is the software that we have, this is the best possible hardware you may use. You may change the hardware, but you cannot change the software. How will you change the software? Because nobody else has another software for that purpose. So there you can be specific. But let's say child development, where we are trying to say, okay, look into things like whether a disabled child has been admitted into a mainstream school or not, whether the mainstream school has a ramp or not, whether they have braille books, library, etc. or not, whether they have braille equipment or not. No, different clubs will do different things.
Now, for example, if they teach 5 aspects,
Yeah.
what is more important for this district? There must be a questionnaire or assessment. The need assessment is to be done first.
So there is a questionnaire for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's essential.
Yeah.
So that will guide them where to start their work.
Have you seen the questionnaire?
No.
No, it's on the website. Just go and see the questionnaire. There is a questionnaire that has been developed for schools. Let's start from there itself. we thought you would do it after the level 1 meeting because people will understand why you need the questionnaire, they will see the questionnaire. You didn't just send the questionnaire, go ahead, the governors will not get it started. If you have a look at the questionnaire, you will feel that a lot of relevant questions that are being asked, and more importantly, when the club goes and finds out, don't ask them to sublet the job to anybody. If they get started first with the first your level 1 meeting, post the level 1 meeting, they should go and do the surveys into the schools. Once they have finished the surveys, their work has already started. They need to have a seminar, a district level seminar before, I'm suggesting a date, let's say before 15th February, you find that is too fine a date, then no, 15th February may be a little too early, maybe February end or 15th March, but definitely not beyond 31st March. If we do it later, I mean, even if we do it in March, and I think we may lose the initiative of this year governors. So at your level 1 meeting, if you can get primary goals from them, like one of the DGEs yesterday mentioned, I want to do 40 happy schools or 25 happy schools. Is any of the current governors ready to take up a challenge like that, make a commitment like that? So that then it's rolling out. Maybe I agree, they may not know what's to be done in child development, but they know what's to be done in happy schools. They know what's to be done in e-learning, but e-learning they cannot do in their state if there is no curriculum ready, software is not ready. Happy schools is what they can go ahead with. Adult literacy they can go ahead with.
Teacher development, again we need the module.
For teacher training also you will need the module. So let's focus on these. Happy schools are something every area needs happy schools. Even you heard the minister also say when we went to meet him also, they said let's get to the basics first. They feel e-learning can wait, although we don't think so. I think e-learning is equally important. We cannot wait that long, but we need to get the happy school things ready. So first we get that commitment from them, the goal setting. Thereafter, let us try and get this meeting. This meeting is going to be attended by the District Literacy Committee Chair, by the current governor and by the incoming governor. These 3 people mandatorily should attend it. What we will also do is, like we do in Polio Plus, we reimburse the expense of this meeting at a certain calculation that comes, and we are ready from the National Committee to do that.
Sir, we have mentioned 300 rupees per delegate.
Yeah.
Level 2.
Yeah, that's level 2. Level 2 meeting, we've already mentioned, any of these delegates, if they come, we will pay at the rate of rupees 300 per delegate, which will come to a substantial about 30,000, 50,000 rupees for a district. And but there is a catch, at least 60% of the, let's say, presidents and these people should be attending, otherwise you do not get the reimbursement. Yeah, 60%. Okay, that's the level 2 training.
Yeah, we have also given the funding.
What the think tank has developed based on the prisoners, under-trials, sex workers, child labor eradication, I think that is not a comprehensive child development. Child development should encompass normal students also.
Yes.
Yes.
So when we are talking about a child development module, it should encompass normal students also, and the normal students curriculum, I mean outside the curriculum, and how do we develop them into a better human being, better citizen. There can be moral ethos, there can be so many other things that can be inculcated. I have got some curriculums on that, on how to do about. See, the moment we are only talking about children at risk or marginalized children, that doesn't encompass child development. It is not child development. Either it should be called child at risk or something like that, or if we say child development, we must include all that also, is what I felt. Of course, I'm not talking that now, but I thought I should bring it to this meeting's notice.
Yeah, but there is I'll tell you why it has been done that way. First, we had the programs ready with us. So TEACH is the acronym. Now see why child development we have not included every other child, because if you take up e-learning, if you take up Happy School, child development is, for the normal child, the development is already going to take place through this. And if you take care of teacher training, why are we doing all this? For child development. So that the child gets better education, so we develop the teachers, we develop libraries, so that the child is developed. But despite doing all this, the marginalized child may not be taken care of because he or she may not get a chance to get into the school. Prisoners' children, they are at risk. Laborers who are moving, their children are not getting into schools. That is why what we thought, the residual children who are not being addressed by the other areas. Let me give you another example. We may go to e-learning, let's say in this district there are 50 schools, we do e-learning in all 50 of them. But, so we've addressed child development in a way. How would you address child development? What is child development addressing?
I think in Probe report, activity-based learning is not there at all in all the, the convents and the new schools that are coming up. So I think
ABL was part of SSA.
Yeah.
When it was launched, ABL was part of SSA.
Yeah.
It was not bought in by all states at all.
Yeah.
Some states took it, some states did not.
Activity-based learning could become, probably the module through which all the other children can be.
One of the speakers that we have today is there on this only, but I wonder if in 10 minutes he'll be really able to tell us.
Shekhar, then we can perhaps say children at risk. It's a more direct thing. When we say children, if we believe that all the other components address our need.
Children, we are looking at children who are dropouts and child labor.
We even send scholarships in that training.
Yes, we did. We did.
So the moment we send scholarships, which is actually other thing than marginalized children. I know that. I know those two slides.
Do we want to call it child development or children at risk?
We can call it child development, but I would perhaps include one more slide, and I will send you that. I thought, of course, today I am not going to do that, but once we discuss, there can be other components which do not encompass in the other 4 elements of what Teach is about. There are so many other things like e-learning. E-learning is a curriculum-based learning system. Teacher development is for teachers on how to train students or how to be better teachers, better qualified teachers, or bring quality education to them. Happy schools is an environment. So, but there are other things for a child development. Like just about now, immediately I can say moral studies or health related activities or yoga, things like that. How do you develop a child?
Like we said yesterday, Ravi, we are not getting into those aspects. We cannot.
It is
we cannot. I mean, imagine how would we do it if it's not part of the government's curriculum? We could, advocacy on this, I agree.
Advocacy,
yes,
but we can still do, we can partner with it. Novice is a program done by Art of Living, and it's a fantastic program. I went through that program, I participated in their program, and they are really doing well. But what they do, Art of Living, is first the Sudarshan Kriya. That they teach it to the children also. So it starts from there, but it doesn't end from there. So, and there are quite a few interesting things which actually helps the child get good memory, good manners, sense, and so many other things, which is a comprehensive capsule of child development.
Okay, we could say that this could go in as a suggestion to each of these schools that we are going in, or maybe we could develop modules on this in e-learning.
And give it to them.
Give it to them. Like, for example, we are giving them games, we are giving them quizzes in that.
Exactly.
Let us put in this also.
What I am saying, Shekhar, is the moment we call it child development, let us also include good children, not just marginalized.
Let me just answer that and then we'll move. I agree with the suggestion that you have. Let's push that indirectly. Novice may be one program, there may be 10 other such programs. Let's try and say that, and I am a firm believer, more than anything else, moral studies is most important for children in India. Most important. थोड़ा arithmetic कम जानने का कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. But moral education, ethics, behavior is very important. Just one second, these two people have been raising their hands for quite some time. Devang and then Brian.
I've been feeling over quite some time, I've been listening and sort of doing thought processes in this. I'm still not convinced exactly what do we want to do on a par national level. We are divided into districts, right? We need to work on some statistics with certain government agencies, etc., and try to find out the parameters. Because what I believe this program is, we are trying here to fill in the gaps.
Yes.
We are not here to do some additional work. We are first trying to fill in the gaps, and for that we need to be very basic on the parameters, on the statistics, whether it is teacher training or child development or any aspect of that. Unless and until that is done, it is going to be difficult. Part number 2 that I feel is that okay, the training portion here for the NCMs, there should be some commonality that which should be drawn out of these various parameters and the statistics, and then based on those things can proceed. Only then we can have a holistic sort of result after say some 5 years or 3 years, something like that.
Devang, you are talking about actually plan of action based on some start data.
Yes.
Where we are today. Okay. That is precisely where we will be starting. Now the whole options under TEACH is actually a big menu. It's a menu of choices which people have. Which one, which district would do, etc. Now one way of getting data is from the websites. The central government has got data, each of the state governments has got data, each of the departments of education has got data. Many NGOs also have data.
Correct.
A report card, the site www.report card has data at your fingertips.
In addition, what Shekhar has also been suggesting is, let the Rotarians go into the field and collect some more data if they want to. Maybe to verify or authenticate the data that we already have.
And sensitize them also.
Yeah, so they get involved in it. There's a better buy-in chance. In addition, to start with, let us say if we are talking about 10,000 schools, I'm sure we would have something like 100,000 schools which need something or other. So we are not really going to target 100,000 on day one. So let the Rotarians find out which 10,000 they want to start with. Then we move on to the next step. Yes, you are right, we need to start data.
Yeah, there's a good news what Tikku said, that the minister wants things to percolate down. If that is really percolated down to the district levels, not only the Rotary but the revenue district levels, I'm sure the Rotarians will get a better response from those officers, collecting the data, etc., trying to work on that. I mean, that's
just one more thing when you said, will fill gaps as far as total literacy is concerned. As far as quality education is concerned, that's what our goal is, total literacy and quality education. Quality education, e-learning does not come in filling gaps. So it is not that we are only filling gaps. We are also looking at advancing quality education, and that we are doing things like e-learning. Rai and then Madhav.
I have a question.
Sorry. Venki, you want to complete that?
If you add normal children also under child development, that is what will be taken up and children at risk would be ignored.
They will still be marginalized children then.
Because for clubs it's easier to take on normal children than this. So if you add that, we might ignore the other part.
We already have too many things on the menu, let me tell you. Let's not increase that, then we'll be in trouble. We will not be able to have any impact assessment later.
And I must confess why this thought came to me in the morning is that when Raji knew yesterday that I am doing child development, she came out and she was laughing at me for 10 minutes. Then I said, why are you laughing at me? She said, when we all said child development, you said, no, that is a very tough subject, you don't handle it, only your club may handle it, it cannot be done pan district and all that tamasha. Now Shekhar wants you to do the country wise. Now, I'm going to go to my club and they are all going to rag you. Then suddenly it struck me, these 2 slides is not what Rajiv was talking about. Rajiv was talking about a holistic approach of child development. They all 40 of them used to go to schools, teach model curriculum. They had a huge syllabus of child development. So then I told her in the morning, this is not what Shekhar wants me to do. Shekhar wants me to do child labor eradication and sexual workers and prisoner trials.
These are two different things. You see, and I'm getting more clearer on this thought. Our job is more on the physical part of it than the mental part of it. What you, for example, is the mental development of them. What we are trying to get at in child development is, what is our we trying to do? The child labor should be able to study. It's more a physical thing. That he should be able to, he should have access to a school or to a place where he can get trained. Children who are challenged, their facilities should become better. We are not saying their curriculum should be the same curriculum as it is for every child.
Child development activities should continue in respect of improving the quality of education and also bringing some ethical values in the students, in which we have our own organization called Interact, which is one of the development activities of Rotary addressing school children. We can bring in that aspect into this and bring about personal development or individual development as a part of this child development activity.
That means again we are getting to the soft skills of the children. So that the only methodology that we have in our program to do that is through the e-learning module. Because apart from that, we have not discussed at any place, or we are not discussing that we will go to the school. We have not studied the course and said, let's say, West Bengal board, does it have any ethical or moral chapters on that? Up to which class level? We do not know. So how do we go and start telling them, no, you change this, it is not in your curriculum? I do not know whether it's in the curriculum of West Bengal or it's in the curriculum of Jharkhand.
Teacher support. Many points were touched there. The only thing is that we will need a very good database. Unless we create a good database, research properly, get into touch with the government agencies, including the education department. So we'll be able to scrutinize the total scenario, total situation, and then go about. It's not only that we'll have extremely well-trained and graduate teachers at all times, because we'll also have girls and boys who would not have completed 12th. So neighborhood schools, even in the cities and smaller towns, can be a reality if we employ such type of people. And as I said previously, it would be a win-win situation. You will be encompassing the youth at a very crucial time when they are passing also to a very crucial phase of their lives, could be fruitfully employed, and simultaneously you could have someone to teach the people, like almost 6 crore of children who don't go to the schools for various reasons. And this is a mammoth task. I mean, it's all easier said than done. But yes, down the line we are again going to meet and we are again going to scrutinize all the things. And we'll have to frame up the entire procedure. We are in that process, and I'm sure we'll definitely be able to make a big headway into this. I'm definitely sure of that.
Thank you, Divan. Thanks a lot. Now, if you have any question, please ask your question. We have our expert panel here.
My name is Dr. Parvez. I'm past district governor from 327 Pakistan. My friend said that teachers from the villages, and we tried this. I'm running about 200 schools per district. So we did this thing in the villages. We picked the teachers, 12th grade or something like this, trained them and put them back in the village. Because by putting these people, these girls in the village, so they bring a lot of students with them. And students respect the teacher because she is from their village. So our dropout was very low. And second thing what we did is that we engaged retired army jawans, subedars, living in the villages area. So they are very fond of teaching. So we involved them. Afternoon they are working with us, and really we get the marvelous result there.
Fantastic, great. So here is the proof that the strategy can work.
Mr. Chairman and the panel board. First of all, I take the liberty to say something off the mark. I have been a teacher for 40 years standing, and we as teachers have got a different set of ears, we listen to things differently. And my first comment is for Mr. Nirmal Parekh. If he was my student, I would have given him 15 on 10. Because he's so clear, he's so lucid, and he's so perfect in his presentation. And the question that I wanted to ask in this session have already been answered by him. Because he knew that these are the pertinent questions that will come up. Basically, we wanted to know that we as teachers, we keep working and we are able to reach the students. We are writing books for SCERT, etc. We reach there and we know the problems. But I would just wanted to know what Rotaries, how is Rotary going to interfere in this? Because government has got its own set patterns, they have got their own set rules. If at all, I'll just give you an example, when we were lately writing books for class 6 or 7 or whatever, and we wanted to make some, changes. So we were told it is not allowed. So now we have been talking about change, we have been talking about so many innovative methods coming in. How this is going to incorporate this into the already existing system? Do we have an alliance with the government, with the Ministry of Education? Is it going to allow Rotary to interfere in its plans? I mean, that is not very clear. How is Rotary going to work on it? Infrastructure is okay. We have seen, we have got financiers, we have got supporters, all that is okay. But I'm talking subjectively, not objectively. I mean, it's from inside. If you like, we wanted to multi-syllable word attack skill, as you would know, which is coming of late, and that implementing new vocabulary skills, where you don't attack only the academic vocabulary, you attack what is called the contact vocabulary. But then we were not allowed to do it. So we want to know that do we play a role, we as Rotarians, do we play a role in formulating the rules, or do we have a voice in putting up what has to be done, and if at all, how is it going to be accepted?
We could fit in the time slot, but just to get a feel of different things, different perspectives, that's one. Number two is that we are also, as you rightly mentioned, through different donations, Rotary Foundation would like to fill up the gaps. There are many things where Rotary would like to get involved, no doubt about it, but filling in the gaps would be the answer at the moment. That's what we are about. Considering the syllabus, etc., put in by the government, that's not our place where we would intervene. That's not the area where we want to work. But yes, the good news is that Shekhar had mentioned that Mr. Ballaraj, DHRD, has instructed his department to put Rotary into at least the discussion group, so that we could get our thought processes done. We are very much into the preliminary stage of trying to find out the ways and means out. Probably put another 2-3 months, and then we could chart out the ways. I'm sure by April we'll be able to give you a very, very complete answer on many issues.
Yes,
there will be different, it will be multifaceted or multi-phase way of going there, but it will be a gap filling sort of thing that we will see. It's not that we see working only on the syllabus. That's not our thing.
In the past, when we were doing the polio eradication program, we had similar problems. But the advocacy part of Rotary played one of the biggest parts in our efforts to eradicate. Where we could not move the health departments because of their set rules, because of the approach of Rotary right to the top, we were able to move them, change the rules, add more people wherever it was necessary. So don't underestimate the power of Rotarians in advocacy. In fact, in polio, the biggest contribution of Rotary has been advocacy. Parvez.
We are running about 200 schools in the district. Sorry.
Since our learned speaker has to go, may I request
Thank you and very good evening to all of you. On behalf of Managing Committee of South Asia Summit, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the chairman of the panel and as a speaker, Nirmalji, because he has given a lot of inputs to us, and I think that inputs will be very useful for all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
The board.
Just a minute. I would also like to thank to Devan Thakurji, past state governor. He is a resourceful. He is acting as a resource person, and his resources are very good, and it will be a great help to take this mission forward. Thank you very much.
So what the government said, because we were running the schools, so about 50 government schools they handed over to Rotary. That we should train the teachers, we should run daily basis, because in the rural areas, teachers used to come at about 10 o'clock and nobody was there to check. So they said Rotary should now monitor this thing. And what our contribution is, our Rotary will go there, see the school. We contributed as toilets in the school, drinking water. So now Rotary is the part of the board. you need this decision where to open the school, Rotary is always there. So you have to just jump in and grab the things. That's the most important.
How many people are here from Delhi? Two. In Delhi, all the municipal schools, Rotary has been asked to adopt, all clubs have been asked to adopt a municipal school. And there, the government has given us a power that whatever is necessary which is not being done, because money today is not an issue in the government schools. It's only the implementation, whether the staff is fully there, whether if money has come for water, has it been, has everything been done for that? Have the toilet been upgraded? Have the classes been upgraded? So Rotary clubs, I know in Delhi, they have been asked to adopt. My own club has adopted a couple of them. So I would suggest in other districts, if you can contact the local bodies of wherever the clubs are situated. Because as a whole, I don't know whether it's going to can be a district project where Rotary clubs can take it. But if you will ask for own municipal corporations of that particular town, maybe that will be the big difference. Yes, you wanted to ask.
I am Dr. Tiwari from Nagpur, retired Rotary Club President, take interest in the teaching and research. One of the issues which has, in my judgment, has not been addressed properly, so both of them I prefer, is the way the schools in the poor areas are actually running. I had the opportunity to interact with 10-15 of my variety of places, and one of the things which principals normally say that teachers don't take interest. Now, if we have this target that Rotary is set for itself, cannot be met if we work only in the gap areas, as you said, because we will not be able to achieve literacy, but the efficiency of the outcome of learning will not be there. For completing the target, it is very important that Rotary also comes up with sort of assessment tool which it will develop for its own volunteers to be also, in the course of time, applied to all the villages or community or municipal school. And for that, we have to work with the higher up that they accept this model of assessment, and that might and also motivate teachers. If some teachers are not interested, how do we motivate?
This will come up. There will be a program which will be set, which will be put on the website. All districts will be informed, and to motivate the teachers, we are coming up with special. I think what was conveyed to us is that special prizes, special recognitions at the club, at the district, at the national level will be mooted so that teachers are motivated, volunteers are motivated, and moreover, like I said, we are going to join hands with many other organizations that are already in this. Your suggestions have been noted. Now I can give you the answer on this because I myself not familiar with what the program is, but your point has been given and you will be able to get an answer in the next couple of minutes.
I noted that they have a school nearby for the urban poor, and it's also 200 students. And teachers have, nowadays there is midday meals in school, midday meals, and they supply milk to children. All these works are taken up by teachers have to see to all these works. And recently I saw they have appointed parents to do that work, so that teachers' burdens are little reduced. I don't know whether it happens in other places also. Now I just noted these things because it lessons reduces the burden of teachers. The way teachers support the get of information. That way volunteers are appointed there for that work. But it helps teachers.
Honorable Chair, Ambassador panel, my dear friends. I am First President Sujit Kumar Biswas from Rourkela Steel City. This is 3261 district. Sir, my personal opinion and personal experience I am going to share. In our city and neighboring areas, or under the aegis of National Literacy Mission, we worked in 92-2000, almost 10 years. At the first stage, we had some teachers as the resource persons and some children of secondary class 9-10 children. We took them as our teachers for the illiterates. And they went to the nearby villages and they started teaching them. Even the adult illiteracy also they controlled it. Later on, when post-literacy started, then we had to appoint some volunteers and they were given some honorarium also. And I think in Rourkela we were successful. It was about 90% literacy we achieved at that time. Though as a whole Odisha, it was 48 to 50% only. So it had our resource person, about 150 teachers. I have been the principal for the last 45 years in CBSE school. And I know regarding our presently also we are having for CCE and other program we are doing, research training and others. But I think here also, what my knowledge goes, we can have some sort of this sort of volunteers from exactly from the nearby area, or even our towns and the outskirts of the city, the villages and slums, especially slums we have taken into consideration at that time. I think that sort of programs we can introduce, some volunteers from our own group and some volunteers from the villages. We adopted them and later on we were successful in that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think, but I'm definitely going to ask the rapporteur to please convey your feelings as well as your suggestions, which are very good. I mean, if you're going to have a 2-day convention and then not going to give a specific direction and specific this thing, it will be people that you feel that they are wasted their time. But I request the rapporteur to pass this on to the convener of this session. When I have the opportunity of speaking to them, which I will, and I will personally convey to them that perhaps more now on the website or some or the other, it should be conveyed to the people who are going to be the soldiers or the part of this as to what our aim is, what our goal is, how to achieve this, and that in a very short time it should be conveyed, because we need to reach our goal in a very short time of 3 to 4 years. I know it is important to train teachers. There is no doubt about that. That if the villages I see, because one of the speakers has mentioned that the government has already built the schools. We have lakhs of schools now constructed. 97% of our children are in school at the initial stage. But it is only 30 to 40% of them that reach 5th standard and above. Our idea is that is only possible when we have quality teachers, trained teachers for the purpose. Because I've seen where we have good teachers, children they become happy students. I myself am running NGO, we are not running an NGO, it's a Rotary Cross, my club project. We are running a school for dropouts. We are having dropouts in that school to train them, put them back in school. We are having school just to train the students to be able to go to government schools, because it's in one of the, I think the problem is not only in villages, it's also in the urban slums, where I feel the problem is even more. Maybe if anyone of you is aware of the issues in urban slums, perhaps you can mention something before we wind this up.
Good evening everyone. मैं सर से पूरी तरह सहमत हूँ। वाकई आज बहुत कंफ्यूज हूँ कि कहाँ से शुरू किया जाए।
मैं पिछले 9 सालों से टीचिंग में हूँ, मैं अपना प्ले स्कूल रन करती हूँ और दैट इज वेरी लिमिटेड कॉस्ट 100-150 rupees per child I am taking because I have to bear some of my expenses and that is very low in the today's scenario. But few government schools are there besides my area. That is very worst in position. No teachers are on time. Morally they are very weak. वहाँ जो लड़कियाँ होती हैं 9-10 साल की, they are facing teasing by the boys in that school, and teachers are just quiet over there. They don't say anything to their students even. So this is the situation. We need to support our teachers in every town. Morally, we want to support them in government schools also. That's the thing.
What you are saying, and I'm sure this will be one of the goals of this initiative.
Parents don't allow their daughters to go in the schools. That is also the cause of dropout.
This is
very serious. I'm from Patna, or Bihar is the major 6 states for which you are counting. I'm from the same state. This is the thing which we are not looking. I've never heard anything about these moral things in 2 days. We know as teachers.
My friend just said something about, because we are here for teacher support, and I think in our rural areas, especially, I don't know, same thing is in India and Pakistan also, because in rural areas very few teachers will go there, and they'll go there, especially the public school, not the private school. Public school, they are least interested to teach anything. So unless those teachers, they get some benefit, some benefit, nobody will go to the villages. And yeah, they will not go to school because in villages they will come at 10 o'clock and they'll leave, and they will what? They will ask the students to work for them. So this is the problem. My suggestion is that in the schools, especially public schools, we should support the teachers. Because in public school there is no teacher training. Once they got the job, they will finish there. So every year, every 6 months, they must have some trainings, fresher trainings. Like we do what we took the teachers from one school, and for 1 week we put them in the very private school. So when they come back, they know what to do. So I think unless we support the teacher, unless we teach the teacher, because the main thing is to teach the teacher how to teach. Unless we do this thing, I think dropout will be there.
All the points are well taken. I think efforts are being made, I presume, by this committee here to address all these issues. Especially the points that you made, man, about teachers in villages and other areas. These are all points of very, very big concern, which is why we find that our literacy rate, if it's so low, is primarily because of it, because we don't even find teachers. And the suggestion that came from Parekh was that if we can get teachers, girls, those who have studied up to 12th class, and then train them to be teachers, perhaps it will be a better idea, so that they can work in their own villages. And then, like Praveen said, once they are well trained, they will bring in more children, and they will. But it's not something that I would say here we have been able to address all the issues. This is our first attempt, I think, and we are I presume we are on the right path, because I think the program here was well structured, everything was well planned, everything. Now what we need to do is, as we move and find the teething troubles that we are having for implementation of this program, because ultimately the gains are going to be the implementation. How we are going to implement the program, whether we succeed in that is where what the points raised by most of you are, the teething problems that we will be facing, and they must be addressed at the earliest, if not at the initial stage, but immediately as we come across them. All these will be conveyed to the committee. I will personally be speaking to both Shekhar and Kalyan on the points made by you. The rapporteur has made all those points, And he will send a copy to me. I'll personally make a note. Especially some of the points made by all of you were very, very pertinent. And I really feel, because as far as I recall in my own school, there were so many teachers and all. But it is just a handful of people, still, teachers that we remember till the end of it. And when we say, I owe everything to this school, it is not that particular school that we owe, it is to the teachers actually. It is the teachers who we owe our, what they taught us. Because I personally am very concerned, the school and all is what is taught to us. Otherwise, the rest is all knowledge that you read college or this thing, knowledge that you gain. But what waste that is made in the school is of utmost importance, and that can only be made if we have quality teachers and teachers well trained to teach you. I will now, once
the Honorable Chairman, the experts on the stage, and the most learned colleagues of mine, brothers,
they are the experts.
They are the real gems, I would like to say, the real gems. I just want to add 2-3 things, because I am a visit professor. I was a principal college of the training college. Now I am a visiting professor in the education. I had a chance to teach the teachers thousand and thousand, and I well understand the various problems. Because here, this is the very first, as for the very first is the teacher's food. Now first of all, the emphasis should be on the teaching of the teachers. This is very, very important. Once we are in a position to give the values to the teacher, once we are in a position to give the real respect to the teacher, once we are in a position to make the teacher understand what teacher is, what the teacher should be, to what I explained, but the teacher, T means he must see sense of the tolerance. He must adjust with the youngsters. They are very crazy people. And then E, he must encourage them. If we start encouraging the child, the teacher will be a lovable teacher, and the child will come, here's my teacher. If we try to accept the child, if for him all the boys and the girls, irrespective of, should be accepted, and if there is a commitment with the teacher, and the teacher should be caring one, and the teacher should be humble like a tree bearing fruits, so he will be the most popular one. And next is he must be educated, he must remain as a student throughout, learning and learning and learning. And our last, he should be a responsible individual. If we are in a position to do that, because Rotary has a commitment, Rotary has a vision, Rotary has a patience. Once the Rotarians come forward with the aim and object, it can be done in a better way. They should start from the village level, because village is the root. There is a more illiteracy. Now with the RTE, as far as the percentage is concerned, it will be 97% persons are illiterate now, because they are coming, they are being registered, they may or may not come into schools. But the purpose of the Rotary is to make them literate and educate them, and it is possible if we invite the villagers, from people from the village, maybe the girls or the boys, volunteers, they come, we should give them the right after the training, with the values, the training with the values, and they should try to teach them not in the classrooms, even after the classrooms, once 1 hour a day, just to make them feel what education is. They will be interested and we can bring change. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Chairman of this Teacher Support Idea Exchange, Past District Governor Majid Sahani Saab, who has taken up everything very, very well and has replied very well. Though there may be some questions which we are not in a position to answer right now, because we have just started, we are just going ahead. And initially there may be some teaching problems, there will be a lot of things which will come, there will be a lot of suggestions which will come. And I hope that time will come, in a short period of time, we'll be able to finish everything and we'll be able to to take up this goal very well. I am also thankful to the Rapture past State Governor Kranti Baidaji, who has noted all the points, whatever has been discussed over here, and it will be given to the management committee, and they will discuss and they will take out the solution how we have to go ahead. I am also thankful to all the participants, because the participants have given their thoughtful things. They have also given their practical experience. They have also told about the practical experience, and some of the issues which have been raised are very, very good, because unless and until you raise the issues, we won't be able to solve the problem, and unless and until we solve the problem, we cannot reach to the goal, and we cannot take up the things how we have to go ahead. So all the participants, are very thankful to all of you, because you have participated very well, and thanks to each and everyone, and thanks to total management for providing us the facilities and support. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, and good night.
Close the session at 5 o'clock. But this is interesting now. Would you like to continue on for some time?
One question.
Yes, please ask every question that
I'm from Gujarat, and I'm advisor to Honorable Narendra Modi for educational reforms. So I just would like to know that, in Gujarat we have around 35,000 primary government schools. All 35,000 schools have minimum of 12 computers. Right, so computers are there. Teachers' willingness to adopt such programs is there. Now this cost of 30,000, right? We said that 10,000 will be borne by the Rotary Club local, 10,000 will be borne by school, and 10,000 will be donated by a corporate. Who will arrange for this corporate?
In Maharashtra, we have identified about 25 corporates who are funding this thing.
Okay. So that has to be done by local district.
But the e-learning committee and all our South Asia, including Kalyan Banerjee, etc., will help you to do that thing.
Okay. And if local Rotary Club is not supporting, but they say 20,000 will be given by government itself, not a school.
No problem. Yes.
What if government of Gujarat promises around 1,000 schools pilots straight up?
We will work out.
So
at a very
nominal rate, because that is very easy for me to get.
There is no profit motive into this. Rotary wants to extend this program to all the common children.
Because right now, before just a month, we had floated a tender for getting such program for Gujarat, and the tender cost was 1.5 crores, which we had estimated. So if this kind of program can be done, that can be easily adopted.
Please help us, and you can definitely do wonders in Gujarat.
Because we have already provided like 32,000.
We'll work out the details, what will be the cost, etc. That can be done. But as the quantity increases, the costs will decrease.
But my dear friend, when you are having the support of the Gujarat government, why do you need a donor? The government will be providing that first.
See,
the rest of them they can.
I tell you why. Because if government spends entire 30,000, it cannot be spent on someone without tender, and over there, n number of things will go in and it won't come through.
Okay, you have a point.
Right? So if 10,000 is donated by a donor, then government can take a stand. It was donors wish to take this particular software.
I think the best would be you have NCM designated for your district, Rotary district. Please discuss with them that this message will flow down to the convener, director and all of them, and the national committee, executive committee will sit together and say, yes, we now do this, our job is to provide you this corporate support or the local support or the school support, all kinds of things. They'll work out the complete footprint for you. No issue for that.
Just informally, I can inform you, we are talking to ONGC, where our Delhi, past district governors and including Shekhar Mehta, Kalyan Banerjee, they are talking to the central government and petroleum ministry.
Yes.
So we are asking them to provide software for 1,000 schools.
Absolutely.
Like that. State Bank, we are asking for 3,000 schools.
That's right.
That's the way we are working. So once that proposal comes, our committee will also help you.
So this is the basic committee, which will take care of that. But please come out with your proposals. And you must take it on a larger scale, not on a smaller scale.
Correct.
This is the idea behind it. That now this is launched, and type in UP 3110? 3100. So I think the NCM is going to be Ashish. So like this, we have different NCMs designated for that. Discuss with them through the governor and through the district Rotary Literacy Committee chair.
They are the ones responsible. You are the one. Then you are the right person.
I have 2 points to mention. One is that we work in a big way with government. Apart from Rotary, we work with government also. We work with 40-45 companies in CSR. Now the biggest satisfaction obviously is with Rotary because the kind of network that Rotary has got. And that's why all the schools are, this program in Maharashtra is successful because all the schools are active, all the schools are running and being monitored by Rotary. So one of the biggest aspect I would say is not only providing product. It is like you will get few more companies providing product. Important thing is going to be support. So whichever way you look at, service agency is going to be very, very important. Secondly, Rotary support, Rotary's active support is going to be very, very important if you want this project to become sustainable. That is number one. Number two, I came here yesterday, I've been listening to a lot of things. Important aspect that he also mentioned is, I would like to mention that with Rotary's whatever initiative we have, we can reach out to few hundred, few thousand schools over the years. But government has got crores and thousands of crores of rupees under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. If I was looking at something, some speaker to speak about how Rotary can align with government and do a joint project wherein we can use this government money which is actually going to corruption and rather do this constructive work, and probably by 2017 we probably will have result by 2016 also if we align with government, not independently.
This is a very fact that the central minister was here. That means we will see that the government is very, very positive in making collaboration with the Rotary. So slowly and steadily we will convince them. First of all, our basic plus point is the credibility of the organization. Once you say Rotary, no question is asked by anyone.
Absolutely.
So people are willing to join with us. Only question is we have to take little initiative. And each and every state in India, each and every state without any exception can definitely do 1,000 number of schools in the next 1 year. With no big effort or no big fundraising is required. Because now we have understood the knack of how to do that. And we will pass it on to you.
The question would be, Prabhu,
yes,
how to start with the project now?
Yeah.
But that is going on.
I can insist.
How to start? If I could understand properly, that in your district, let's say if you take your district 3100, you are the DRLCC, and there are 5 sub-committees. And you must have found the 5 sub-committee chair also. I don't know, yes or no?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So kindly go ahead with that. That's number 1 step. Number 2 step is, there will be level 1 meeting, which will be held along with governor nominee, governor-elect, and all 5-6 of you, and the NCA. So about 10-12 people will be getting together and talking on the whole program, how to go along. So that is the starting point. And all your questions will be answered there because who is going to collaborate where and what time. And how many schools are to be taken care of. Right? This is the level 1 meeting must take place within the next 10 days or 15 days time. So there is a talk going on also, maybe I am not yet clear. Maybe 3100, maybe I also start looking into it. It's not yet clear. So that is a step, kindly look into that. And then there will be level 2 meeting and the seminar will be held. And this all must take place before 21st, 22nd of March. So we have very little time. So then March end, it will take.
Atul Ghatwai. Atul.
From?
Nagpur.
Nagpur.
I mean, though there are different curricular and at different states, is it possible for me to take one software from in English and we can show it in our rural area school as an additional learning? They have their own course, they are learning there, but if I come and ask you to support me and I buy one software from you in English, will it be okay and we can show that there?
I think so. We are all trying to work together for anything. Any good suggestions?
No, I mean, curriculum will be different, but this can be additional.
Our idea is we are Rotary.
Absolutely.
And any suggestion you say that this is there and you say it could be useful to anyway. I have, like today morning, Eco Campus, Umesh has put a lot of libraries in various places. He's giving a franchise. Then he says that why don't you put a computer into this one so that you can teach somebody for 10th standard, final exam, near to exam, they can all teach and make some, So ideas can be there. The confidence you can take is, we are Rotary, so there's nothing to worry about. We'll do any good things.
So
far you have been talking about normal children and higher standards, science, English, history, geography. What about the children from the age of 2 to 4? You can't teach them mathematics like that. You have to develop a special software.
Yes.
And suppose if I say all the children don't have the same IQ. There are exceptions of children who are below normal IQ. What are you going for them?
Very good answer.
Yeah, very good question.
I really agree with all your views that we have to reach to lower ages as we go forward. But we had to start somewhere. So we started with first standard to 10th standard. Because all the children, they come into the school, there is a definite infrastructure, there is a definite curriculum, and there is a definite educational system. Whether we like it or not, there are schools and they teach the government prescribed syllabus. This is the beginning. Now as we succeed to this point, then we go to some other thing. Now physically challenged students, they have to have a little different modification into that software. But today we don't have that much of machinery to do everything. Once we are conversant, we are getting little experience. We also have made some certain mistakes, but out of that we are learning about it. Once we are set with this thing, we will go to the next step. Again when we set with that thing, we will go to the next thing. That is how we will proceed further.
Now suppose if we are prepared to do the hard work, and we will develop this software for these children, will I get, or we people like us,
we will be obliged to you.
We will get any help from Rotary?
Yeah.
Who
Why
will
not?
contact?
Central committee.
As I said before, now the central committee has been formed. We have an executive committee, then we have a national committee members. So these are the people who will be approached. Like from Bengal, Calcutta, we have Devashish Mukherjee. He is an NCM. So these are the people who they are designated for such jobs. An executive committee will look after the entire country as a whole. The NCMs are responsible for a certain number of districts. This is how it has been done.
Thank you very much, all of you. We will have a little bit of a program still too. Shao, will you do that?
And friends, I just want to appeal you from the national committee. Please contribute your ideas. We are not the final persons or final authority. We have started at what we thought was perfect. We can improve also, we can get additional inputs, we can also develop new softwares with your help. But those inputs are very, very important to all of us. And together, we can make it a perfect model.
Then I think the originator must get it. Then the originator must get it.
सर एमसीएन के नंबर्स और अगर किस डिस्ट्रिक्ट से कौन-कौन है
आपको जो नेशनल साउथ एशिया लिटरेसी समिट वेबसाइट है
अच्छा
उस पे मिले
ठीक है
I think with these words we can close the program because you all have to go. Thank you.
Instead of spending time on her giving a long address, let her briefly outline what is happening, and after that, Ashish, welcome. She'll give you an outline of what it is, and then maybe you can ask her questions which will probably help us to understand what they are doing in their district better. Vaishali.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and it's good to have a very concentrated audience because now we know every single person in the auditorium is interested in promoting adult literacy. So I think let's look at the silver lining to the black cloud. I come from District 3131, and this year, after PRID Shekhar Mehta declared 100% literacy by the end of the year 2017, our district governor thought that there has to be a specific focused team who will work only for the cause of adult literacy. So a few of my colleagues are also there in the audience, Prakash and Atul. We started much before the Rotary year started. First, in simply studying what are the challenges on adult literacy. Because since we all come from various fields and we've not, at least we had not really worked for the adult literacy cause before, we thought let's read state government papers, union government papers, and then try to see how we can actually reach a solution. The first thing that was a very important eye-opener for me was that an adult is defined as anyone from the year 15 and above. Because when you say adult literacy, we generally have images of 50 plus, 60 plus women and men who have nothing else to do but attend a literacy class where they get free meals. So that is not our target audience. 15 plus is the World Bank criteria, which includes school dropouts. So that is where we started researching as to how do we really get about in implementing adult literacy programs. The second thing what we identified was what are the challenges on adult literacy. Because once we understand the challenges, coming up with the solutions becomes much easier. Challenges were threefold. I'm going to speak up my mind out and make no bones about it as to even how Rotarians and Rotary clubs have reacted to implementing adult literacy programs, simply because it does not have a tangible result. See, when you have a toilet block to be built, or an ambulance to be given, or some safe drinking water facility to be made available, you have a tangible, measurable result at the end of the year or the end of the Rotary year. So any serving president would first grab that as a project. Giving an ambulance or building a toilet block, it becomes much easier for the president to measure his year at the end of the Rotary year. If you tell him, let's look at an adult literacy program which may not have a tangible result at the end of your year, you are enrolling 25 people, but at the end of the year, you may just have 5 in your hand who have actually become literate. So motivating a club was the first challenge. Convincing a president that take up an adult literacy program, because that forms the root of development. If you are making an adult literate, if you are making a woman literate, you are giving her self-confidence, you are giving her the strength to stand up and speak for herself and participate in democracy. So that is where we started as to how do you really convince a club. Because when we made presentations at various clubs, that was the first feedback we got, that let's concentrate on child education, which is absolutely important, nothing to undermine it. And let's leave the adult population aside. Again, I'm going to be very crude when I say this, because it's, if you're talking of a 60 plus or a 70 plus, what is the longevity? Another 10 years and he comes down, he doesn't form part of the percentage of illiterate adults. So maybe we just wait another 20 years, as it is, there won't be adult illiteracy. But then when you look at the World Bank criteria, 15 years is the age. We are looking at school dropouts, especially women who have been denied a chance of education when they were in schools. We've all seen various statistics that when they come to their menstrual age, they tend to drop out for various reasons. It could be family pressures, no proper facilities in schools, etc. So that was the first challenge. The second challenge was, how do you motivate a donor? Any project would need money. Even the donor would want to see an ambulance with his name written on it. Even a donor would want to say that I'm giving you 10 lakhs. How many people are going to be literate out of 10 lakhs? And very unfortunately, we don't have an answer to it because the dropout rate is extremely high. We have seen that we have enrolled 20 and at the end of the course we have 3 left. There are no easy answers for it. So we have to have a sustainable model where we also look at why people are dropping out. So how do you really convince the donors? One pitch we made was, again, that you are actually helping build a robust democracy by investing in uneducated adults. You're giving them the sense of self-worth. You're asking them to participate in a democracy. So maybe at the end of this year you don't have results, but at the end of 3 years you do have results which are tangible and measurable and which actually participate in developing of a country. We also took a very conscious decision that even if there are dropouts, we will continue the course even if we are left with one beneficiary, because otherwise it's extremely unfair for the one who has been diligently attending the course, that the course just stops in between, because we have 20 in the beginning and we have just one left in the end. And the third, most challenging, was how do you actually motivate the beneficiary? Because again, for her or him, there are no tangible results. You're not offering them employment. You're not offering them a better lifestyle. You're not offering them any money at the end of the course. You're not offering them any different social status. So what we thought was, let's pick up this different social status and let's sell this to the beneficiary. That we're not going to give you money, we're not giving you employability, but you are going to gain respect in the eyes of other people, which is what led to building of self-esteem. When we talk to women, and when I ask them, आप कितने तक पढ़े हो, आपको पढ़ना लिखना आता है? I'll just make a last point since there's real paucity of time and the other speakers waiting. One last point, or the last pitch that we said, let's do it in phase 1, because adult illiterates are an unorganized sector. So you don't know where to go to find them. So I tried to convince the housemates in my society, and I realized it was so difficult to get all of them together at one place. So two things that we had to address, that we had to go to a place where already people are collecting, or for some other reason. Let's say they are meeting to roll out papad. Let's have a literacy class there. They are having bachat ghar. So they are already meeting at one place. Let's go there. Statistics say 2/3 of the adult illiterate population are women. So we said, let's start with the 2/3 adult illiterate population, women, in phase 1. Let's look at the men folk a little later. Not that we are biased against it. It's very difficult for the men folk to get them under one roof, because after a hard day's work, the way women are glued to TV and their Hindi serials, a man, generally the labor class, he ends up in some local pub. So getting him to a literacy class was a big challenge. So we said, let's start with the 2/3 illiterate women population to begin with. Once we got them to that center, another thing that we did was we took local help. We all know Rotarians are extremely busy. We have the passion, we have the drive, but we may not have enough time to do that. So if I'm asked to go, or we are let's say team of active 4-5 members in my team, if I'm said go every weekend to Shirur, which is about 80 kilometers from Pune, it may not be possible on every Sunday. So we said, let's have a local social worker identified at the venue. So she monitors, and my job is to call her every week and see that what is the monitoring being done. And if intervention is needed, then that intervention has to be timely. I'll just take another 2 minutes. So that intervention has to be timely, so that even if there are dropouts, we are able to arrest the dropout at a particular time, before it's too late. It's still a very unfortunate scenario that women want to study, women do enroll for the adult literacy class, but after a while, because of family pressure, because of the insecurity the man in the house gets, that probably my wife is going to study, she will be able to read the Satpara or the property card extract. She will be able to read how much money is there in her bank account, which he was using all the time. And so there is definite resistance from the house. So that is also what we looked at, that in order to arrest dropouts, we have to look at the social scenario and intervene on time. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I thought spelling out challenges is the only thing that is required for adult literacy. And another thing that we are trying to follow is, we've asked the clubs to very honestly report success. If you've enrolled 20, don't say 20 were literate at the end of the class. Nobody is going to believe us. Because statistics have shown for years together, government schemes have failed in terms of ensuring 100% literate of the class which has enrolled. So Rotary is not suddenly going to come up with a magic wand. So we've told clubs that don't shy away from saying that we have dropouts. We are going to continue this in spite of dropouts, because once the mission gains momentum, I'm sure people will join us. I'm very sorry, I forgot to mention TCS in this entire talk that I gave. It was all possible because TCS made their software available free of cost. We've signed an undertaking with them that we will not be charging a single penny for the software that is getting used. And the most beautiful thing of this software is people are extremely excited when they see it. It's very easy to use. It captures one's imagination, and suddenly the chalk and board technique, which was boring, plain, simple and uninteresting, suddenly the teaching medium has become extremely exciting, and thanks to TCS for that. Thank you.
Friends, it's not going to be easy. Our club does a musculoskeletal surgery camp, and we do it in Uttar Pradesh. We also do it in interior Maharashtra. Along with the musculoskeletal surgery camp, because the way ladies come there who also have gynaec problems, when the camp goes on, when the women who are there are asked to talk to them about literacy and how they can get literate and how being literate is important to them, there is a social background that comes into the fore where many of the societies or communities do not like and in fact prevent their women from getting literate. She's absolutely right, Vaishali, on this score. A hell of a lot in northern part of India, maybe less in the southern parts of India, but that stigma and that mindset continues. It is that mindset that we first will have to change, because 64% of the women population in India is only literate. More than 38%, 37, 38% is illiterate. The male, that's in the urban area, in the rural areas. So those of you who work in rural areas, there's a lot more work that you need to do to change the mindset of the men first before you can start initiating the process of adult literacy in women. Anybody has any questions for Vaishali? We'll ask her the questions so you can have your doubts clarified and then we can move forward.
What is the exact teaching you do? What is adult literacy? What the contents of the teaching?
So it's basic reading. So we start with the reading module first. That's how TCS developed a software which is based on the state curriculum of adult literacy. So it's reading, writing and basic arithmetic skills. So after they clear the reading module of the software, then it's the writing. And then it's simple arithmetic. It's for 60 hours. I'm sure Azmat will have more details when he speaks.
To getting them to understand that they could read, getting them to read and even write basically is something which is the first step. Once you cross that step, then the process will be far, far quicker. That first step is difficult. Yes, sir.
Are you forced to train the teachers for utilizing this TCS software and computer, or ordinary teachers, untrained teachers, just like that, they could walk in for training these literacy classes through this TCS program?
The TCS software has been designed in such a way that it's extremely simple to use. So we are just looking at a person who's smart enough, she or he should know some basic reading, writing skills and should be smart enough to pick up computer operations. Because we also realized everybody operates a mobile very easily. Complete illiterate people operate mobiles fantastically. So you just need to, get over their fear. We just have to tell if you're operating a mobile, operating TCS software is no rocket science.
Thank you, Vaishali. Thank you so much, and I hope you get better. Take care of yourself. You're not keeping too well. Take care of yourself, please. Friends, the next person we have who's going to speak to us is Mir Azmat Ali. He is the project manager of the Adult Literacy Program of TCS, and he is the person who's really who has helped 3131 and Vaishali. Harsh, welcome.
Thanks, but I'm going to not stay for too long, man.
No, not at all. Don't worry. Please sit down. Please be seated. So, Mir will take you through a presentation which will help you to understand how this program of TCS can help you to get adult literacy forward. Mir, it's all yours.
Dear Rotarians, I am Azmat Ali from Tata Consultancy Services. It's a IT company. Okay. And as part of our corporate responsibility, social responsibility, as a IT company, we have decided that we will use our IT core competence to address societal problems like illiteracy. So one of the problem is illiteracy. So we are actually working in 3 areas. One is education side, the other one is healthcare, and the third one is environment. Talking about adult literacy program, it is our flagship program. It is flagship program of Tata Consultancy Services. It started way back in 2000 onwards. I am very happy that since Rotary Club is going to start this program, so we have already many of the things are ready made for you. So we need to just take it and use it off the shelf. So, and I can assure you from Tata Consultancy Services, we are there to support you, as Mr. Shekhar pointed out, that is going to be a revolution for Rotary. We are there in your effort to eradicate illiteracy. We'll make this as a Jan Andolan. Yeah, you can let us see that this is so many software are available in all languages: Urdu, Marathi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Gujarati, and Odia, Bangla. It's all already there. So Rotary can operate on all these states. Rotary can just take this software to all these states. Then we have a software. Then not only that, we have a software for Soto language, Mure for African countries. So currently, just recently, we have developed for Arabic language for Middle East countries. So here, what I want to say that ये क्या साथ देंगी दम तोड़ती हुई शमें, ये क्या साथ देंगी दम तोड़ती हुई शमें, नए चिराग जलाओ रोशनी कम है. When I'm talking about chirag here chirag is technology. You have to use this chirag, this technology, you have to adopt technology, because already our farmers are adopted technology. As Vaishali was saying that our farmers are using mobile phone. So they will also adopt this. So we have to accelerate the pace of learning. So we have to use technology in whatever form it is coming to you. Whether it is e-learning for school children, whether it is adult literacy program which is already available, you need not to reinvent the wheel now. It is already there. Next. So it's a simple technology. So it's basically adults will actually, unknowingly, he actually doing through the word formation is learning a lot of things, because teaching adults and teaching children is different. Teaching adults, so they are teaching to the adults what they know and what they do not know, how to read and write. So from known to unknown things we are teaching to them. Next, sir. So the benefits of this, acceleration the pace of learning, read and write. So the normal conventional method is taking 300 learning hours as stipulated by NLMA. So if we use this software, it is also proven by the effectiveness of this program is also accepted by the National Literacy Mission by conducting the literacy camps. We have got already 500 camps by the NLMA. And we got success in all those camps, and the test was taken by no other than National Institute of Open Schooling, NIOS. Just go back a little, just have it. So then the difference between this is that audiovisual media and the time. Time is a factor, because adult will not have time. They cannot sit for you 1 year or so. The conventional method is taking. So it is just 50 learning hours. You can have classes for thrice a week. You can have classes for 5 days a week, over a period of say 12 to 15 weeks. In 12 to 15 weeks, you can see the results. And then flexibility is there in learning. Dropout rate is very low and compared to the conventional method. Conventional method dropout rate is very high because it's a lengthy program. But in this, they will come because it also generates interest. It also generates motivation to them. Cost effectiveness. As Mr. Pramod yesterday pointed out, e-learning program for school children also, it is taking 100 rupees per month for a learner. It also true for this. You have to try this to understand. And you can see that the program is running all over the country, and different coverages, tribals, villagers, housekeeping, security guard, 22 states, 2 foreign countries, prisoners, sex workers, and the stakeholders are NLMA, SRC, NGOs, corporate, academic institutions, jails. When I'm talking about jails, even in Tihar jail also this program is running. So then we have trainers from, you can see, the last statistics I'm giving you, last year statistics I'm giving you, this 35,000 people we have made literate, and we have 28 camps, 9 Indian languages. These are all. So from TCS, of course, software is there, software is already there, it is for you, and then we provide the software. We also conduct a training of trainers. So you identify the trainers, we will come wherever across the country, either you come to us, either we come to you. you can use our facilities for the training, or we'll come to you to train your trainers. So you identify the trainers, we will train your trainers. Then we will also do the review visit, periodic review visit, to understand how whether the training is being imparted properly by the prereq or not, the instructor or not, or whether we will give the process improvement suggestion as well. So next, please. This is a typical class. So this is what Rotary has to see. What is the consumption it has? You will have a computer, of course. What is the consumption? Power is there. Power you need to have. You need to have one computer. People can sit like this, or people can sit on the chairs as we can provide. And you should have a classroom like this, or maybe classroom can be anything like makeshift room or instructor room. I mean, it can be school after evening schools, anything, any school, any building where people can. Of course, we should have. Yeah, this is a set. So, as a technology enabler, we will focus on developing these Indian languages. This is being implemented through the government, semi-government, NGOs, corporate, and they will execute this program. It reaches to the needy, that is adult illiterates, non-literates. So this fact, then we, as I told you that we can also conduct the orientation program to create awareness or to create motivation to their people. I mean, then we can also training of trainers. Of course, you have to identify your master trainers. We will provide the training. Then we will provide the software copies as much as you require, and then we can also support you probably in the logistic support going forward. So that we have to see there are because many organizations, many genuine organizations like Vaishali has facing some problem. We have to see to it and we have to look into that. So we will be there. Vaishali will be there. So, and of course, it is not ending that. Every time, suppose you give a feedback from the field. Okay, this can be changed. Based on the feedback, software can also be continuously updated. Next, please. And not only that, we also do the monitoring. We ourselves also do this reach, outcome and impact. How much reach? What is the reach of the product and services to the people? Whether it has reach? What is the reach? What is the outcome? What is the change in the learning and health status of the people? What is the awareness? What is the outcome? What is the impact? We do this impact analysis after 1 year of the program is completed. Meaning the program is completed, the people have become literate. After 6 months or so, we will see whether this post-literacy, whatever they're doing as part of it. So we do this ROI matrix, we collect this ROI matrix, we send to management also. Yeah. So way forward is, we also coming up with the skill-based, as part of skill-based program, tailoring software is also already prepared in Tamil. We have prepared a software in Tamil, and we are going to do it in Telugu and Hindi and other languages. And this is to sustain post-literacy for the new literates who have already attained literacy. Then we are coming up with this Spanish software for migrants. Spanish computer creating e-learning program for school curriculum also is there it's on last round. And then we are reaching out to masters. This program can also be run through tablets. So if you have a project nowadays inbuilt projector tablets are coming. So we can run this through tablets also.
Okay. I think we should thank Tatas for their effort in supporting us. They are the initiators of the program. We are utilizing the initiative that they have taken for supporting our goal of eradicating illiteracy by 2017. I thank Azmat Ali for making this presentation. Let's give him a big round of applause, my friends. And all of you collect a card from him so you can get in touch with him and ensure that you get the benefit of this program once you initiate your community for the purpose of giving the benefit of this program. Thank you, Azmat Ali. Thank you.
As part of this, since it is a South Asia conference, we have 2 languages, Bengali as well as Urdu for Pakistan. That program is also there. Bengali, of course, is for West Bengal, but we can ready to do for Bangladesh also. Having their curriculum, we can do it. And this is not a program just that you have I just converted into e-module. It's not that. We have eminent professor who actually work on this pedagogy, cognition, cognitive method and all. We will take into all those account, and we are creating these languages. It's just not a mere conversion into soft copy or something like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I think functional literacy is going to be a very important facet. Like e-learning is going to be an important facet as far as adult literacy is concerned. And therefore, without much ado, he was introduced well. I'm not going to take any time except telling you, and when you see him, you'll recognize him. Harsh Srivastava, I request you to join me on the stage.
Ask questions and have interactive session.
That's better.
I mean, what is there for me to repeat?
There is a practical question. See, I belong to district 3020 of the city of Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh. You see, since about 4 years we have commenced this adult literacy program out of our communal service interest, community service interest itself, without the initiation of Rotary also. But we have been facing a problem of collecting the beneficiaries. That has become a real challenge for us. See, how to collect these, how to identify where are the illiterates, how to collect them, how to bring them to a common platform and to the nearest place. And those who are coming also, we are not able to convince them to stick to the class. And also, we used to appoint only teachers with the ordinary traditional method of writing on the flexible blackboard and then practicing on the slate and slate pencil. But the problem we have been facing also, recently last year, we have initiated a program of just educate, making 100% literacy of the city of Vijayawada concentrated way. My question is how to catch hold of the beneficiaries so that they can stick on to our program maybe 60 days or 90 days, whatever it may be. We are facing a problem for that.
My sort of suggestion would be is that to find the beneficiaries, you should just look around yourselves, where you live and work, and you can motivate them at least to attend. To go out whom you don't know, who's not connected with you, or the people whom you work with, or the organizations you work with will be difficult. Why would they come? And the way to so instead of, if you are in one area, you live in an area, you work in an area, your people around you know. So and similarly all your other members, they would know a few people. Even if you just get a few people, and you teach them all the elements that I talked to you about earlier today, which is therefore much more than read and write your own name. That is, of course, the first step. For that, you need the Tata software and other software in the existing government schemes. When I talk about functional literacy, what I meant was those different kinds of functions. So you don't need, for example, to be able to know great data reading writing to know what the law is, what does it apply to you. You don't need to know in vast amounts of going to write in full details what government schemes are applicable. That kind of information, but it's not available. Not one. So if you can get a few people and
we are bothered about 3 hours only. Reading, writing, and
my point was actually to go beyond the 3 hours. I said you must do more. So one of the examples one can look at is, as an inspiring example, is how the Election Commission of India motivates people to go out and vote. Turn by turn, election by election, their vote share is rising. They are doing something to get people to come out and vote. So that is the Election Commission. They have a lot of money, they have resources. But if you think about what did they do, they also went on radio, on television, they did this. This is the place to go do this. So if you so you don't do it yourself. The government has the funds, National Literacy Mission. They don't just know how to spend it and misspend on all kinds of silly things. So work with the government to advertise that we are going to organize this on such and such date. Let the government pay for it. That is for you, that's Rotarians, to do this, to convince the government. Yes, ma'am.
आपने सुबह जो बताया था फंक्शनल लिटरेसी के एस्पेक्ट को लेकर चलना बहुत अच्छी बात है, उसके चीज़ों को तो मतलब देखा है, लेकिन एक पहला सवाल मेरे दिमाग में ये आता है कि उसका जो पार्ट है एडल्ट लिटरेसी मतलब 3R वाला, उसके लिए क्या हम लोग किस तरह से चुनेंगे? मतलब जैसे एक होता है टोटल लिटरेसी क्योंकि आपका टारगेट है, तो उसके लिए क्या सर्वे वर्क होना, मतलब मेरे दिमाग में जो चीज़ आई कि सर्वे वर्क करके कैसे हम जैसे कुछ लोगों को पढ़ाया, उसके बाद फिर अलग अलग चुनेंगे या इकट्ठा मतलब उसको सर्वे करके टोटल उस तरीके से करें जैसा होता है।
जी जी।
तो पहले सर्वे हुआ तो गवर्नमेंट के साथ था,
जी।
सर्वे हुआ उसमें से चुने और उनके हिसाब से ही फिर MT, KRP, DTM, MT, DTM
ये रनर्स है या ट्रेनर्स?
वो तो ट्रेनर हुए,
जी।
रिसोर्स पर्सन,
जी।
मास्टर ट्रेनर एंड वॉलंटियर।
जी।
तो लेकिन मेरा मतलब इसमें भी इसी प्रोसेस से होगा या
या तो आप हमारे ऑफिस में आइए या हम आपके पास आके आपको ट्रेनिंग देंगे आपके रिसोर्स पर्सन को। आपके रिसोर्स पर्सन क्योंकि ऑलरेडी बेसिक कंप्यूटर लिटरेसी रहती है, उनको तो 1 दिन की ट्रेनिंग काफ़ी है, तो हम 2 दिन की ट्रेनिंग देते हैं। 2 दिन की भरपूर ट्रेनिंग इज नॉट अबाउट ट्रेनिंग ये नहीं कि सिर्फ सॉफ्टवेयर को किस तरह यूज़ किया जाए, ट्रेनिंग ये कि हाउ टू रन ए कम्प्लीटली CPFL सेक्टर किस तरह से हम रन करेंगे, राइट फ्रॉम द बेसिक कंप्यूटर ऑपरेशन टू इम्प्लीमेंटेशन चेकलिस्ट के साथ पूरा इम्प्लीमेंटेशन डिप्लॉयमेंट किस तरह का पूरा हम जो इसका ये करेंगे।
एक सवाल और था कि आपने सुबह सजेस्ट किया था कि जो ट्रेनर हैं उनको कुछ वाउचर्स प्रोवाइड करें।
नहीं, ट्रेनर नहीं, मेरा सुझाव था कि ये सरकार को करना चाहिए, आप लोगों के लिए नहीं था ये, कि जो ट्रेनिंग फैसिलिटीज बहुत सारी होंगी, अलग अलग संस्थाएं चलाएगी, उनका कॉस्ट कैसे रिकवर होगा। तो गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी हो सकती थी कि हर आपकी संस्था में भी अगर आप चला रहे हैं, आप थोड़ा सा पैसे देंगे, तो गवर्नमेंट कैन गिव अ फिक्स्ड सम ऑफ मनी टू ऑल पीपल which they not in cash as an equivalent coupon that they can go to anybody, they can say कि मुझे ये चाहिए। So every person will have a different requirement. किसी को गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स के बारे में ज्यादा जरूरत होगी, किसी को मतलब जानकारी जानना चाहेंगे कि भाई अपना बिजनेस छोटा सा रेडी वाला है वो आगे कैसे करे। तो अलग अलग लोगों को अलग अलग रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है फंक्शनल लिटरेसी की, सबको सब कुछ एक साथ नहीं चाहिए। तो दिस इज अ वे टू गिव द जिसको पास जो चाहिए वो अपना थोड़ा एक फिक्स्ड अमाउंट ऑफ मनी है, वो अपना जहाँ पर भी जाए उसको ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइडर मिले, वहाँ से जाके वो प्रोसेसिंग किया। ये गवर्नमेंट से गवर्नमेंट का एक
Let's give Harsh a big round of applause for waiting here despite his address, and thank you very much, sir, for what you shared with us in the morning and now. And friends, I need to give a big round of applause for two people before I call upon Gyanendra to propose a word of thanks. Devendra to propose a word of thanks. May I request you to give a round of applause for our rapporteur, Gyaneshwar Rao. And now for Devendra for the vote of thanks. And after he gives the vote of thanks, give him a round of applause also, because he's been here with us.
Good afternoon, friends. Indeed, it was a wonderful session of ideas exchange, because despite of all constraints and paucity of time, our learned speakers could deliver their level best for contribution to this literacy mission. Inspiring from them, I have also cut my deliberation also. I have the privilege to thank breakout session chair PDG T.S. Subramaniam, PDG Vinay Kulkarni ji, who inspired us all. The speakers, Mr. Harsh Srivastava, Ms. Vaishali Bhagwat, Dr. Azmat Ali, who made extremely valuable contribution, and the reporter DG Gyaneshwar Rao, my batchmate, has made a concise explanation of wisdom shared and deserves special mention. In the end, I will repeat the most inspiring words we all have been introduced to at the International Assembly. We had all come to learn, and let us go back to serve. And before I finish, I would like to say lines of Hindi poem. अब क्षितिज की ओर से सूरज निकलना चाहिए, अब क्षितिज की ओर से सूरज निकलना चाहिए, रात हो कितनी घनेरी, अब सवेरा चाहिए। यूं ही अगर बैठे रहे तो घेर लेगा ये तिमिर, रात हो कितनी घनेरी, दीपक तो जलना चाहिए। अब तो भरना चाहिए इसमें कोई अच्छा सा रंग, अब तो भरना चाहिए इसमें कोई अच्छा सा रंग, अब तो इस संसार का नक्शा बदलना चाहिए। थैंक यू, हैव अ सेफ जर्नी। नमस्कार।
अरे रे आपको कैसे छोड़ा? फोटो कर रहे हैं, फोटो वीडियो कशाला फोटो गया। अरे भाई साहब ये लो अरे भाई बहुत ना एकदम सदाशिव बैठे माहिर।
We have come with 7 points like uniform, water, etc., etc. That was on the basis of consensus of the National Committee members, the Executive Committee members, the District Governors and the District Governors elect. This was a huge group that actually discussed on these points, and there were deliberations here in Delhi on the 7th of November, and on the basis of that we came to a consensus. On a similar basis, definitely by the end February, on child development also, we will come out with a menu, and I will ensure that it is circulated to each and every Rotary Club. It will also be hosted on rotaryteach.org. So if you go to rotaryteach.org, even today you will find what is the method we are using to reach each and every Rotarian. We started it last month. I'm going to have, we've been asked to finish our level 1 meetings by December end, level 2 meeting by February end, and then go to each and every club. So the process is there, and I'm sure for child development also we will have a lot of things that each and every Rotarian can. I just wanted to share this with you before I hand over this to Pradhan.
Thank you, Jawahar. I think we like to wind up, but before winding up, I would like to thank all the participants that who took the interest and shared their stories and exchanged the ideas, and especially Ravi and Raji and Jawahar, because they have worked in this area very well. I am aware about that, and coming directly from the horse's mouth makes, very easy. I will request now, co-chair, of course, Raji, you will be giving our whatever we deliberated on to Shekhar, and will be happy that PDG Alwal will express the gratitude. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Moderator Pratap. I hope that in absence of the acting chairman, he is also away. All Rotary leaders and fellow Rotarians, passionate crowd. And the subject, as you have heard, child development, it's a very vast subject with various connotations, various directions. And the whole day, the subject itself can be deliberated a whole day, even for 2 days. So that's, and particularly in the backdrop of a plenary session we had today, maybe Rotarians, in fact, once the convener declared the summit is over, there is a confusion. So one of the Rotarians approached me, will there be this session? I said, sure, there was no announcement, but then I referred to the second announcement of our Shekhar Mehta that the breakout session will be there. First of all, on behalf of the chairman, where is our chairman? Chairman Ravi Padlamani, is in absence of PDG Jogesh. He had chaired this session, this idea exchange. We did exchange some ideas, particularly the ideas on success stories. And to my knowledge, 3 of the PDGs who spoke about the success story, they are all involved in the child development projects. Sure, PDG Jawahar. And for PDG Ravi Bhaglamani and PDG Raji, they are totally committed and involved in this subject. Thank you all participants. Thank you, especially those who have come out, and past President Madhavi, from Hyderabad. She initiated the discussion on success.
I would have started like, any questions for Larry, please?
Yeah, we can recommend people all over.
I can't promise about the others because they're in other zones. But what I will do, we will try to contact them, and we will try to get them, if necessary, into an e-Rotary club. So even if they're outside our area, we'll put them into one of our e-clubs.
Okay.
So we'll try to do that. Make that offer anyway to them.
Fine.
Okay.
I also have only that is okay. When I'm filling up the form and contacting the recommended person, is the reference also given that you have been recommended by so and so?
Yes, that's what the email will say. It will actually be, the letter will go out under the person making the recommendations name. I have referred you, I've been a Rotarian for X number of years, my club or my community needs this, your name, I thought you would be interested in helping. That's the kind of tone of the letter.
When you say pairing, what does it mean?
It just means that the South Asia zones are being paired like a couple with the two zones in the West. That's what I mean by pairing. That we are willing to be partners. We need your help to grow members, and you perhaps need some help in getting some funding. So that's where the pairing. There may be a better name. I'm not proud of the name because it doesn't really explain what it is.
No, it's a right name. For example, Zone 5 and 4 and 6A is India. Zone 22 is Canada. We both were paired during the centennial year to do avoidable blindness cataract surgeries. So it's pairing.
That's what the word.
That's universal assets.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. See, we have formulated, I don't know about, you know about Bihar or not, the literacy level in Bihar is very much lower. So we have made a sort of macro project in Bihar, we have conceived one, where we have taken the revenue district of Patna, which is the capital of Bihar, as a sort of model concept, where we are, there are 16 clubs in Patna alone. So we are asking each of the club to adopt at least one or two schools depending on the strength of the club, there is small club and big club. And then we will convert it as one project where we will have, there are two aspects. One is the water and sanitation and another is literacy. So under literacy it is $170,000 and $225 under water and sanitation. Because we are only providing school benches and this is not adequate unless we couple it with water and sanitation. So we have taken.
What's the question?
Question is that how can we not make it as one project? First I had made it as one project, this literacy come water and sanitation. Then we were advised by our district that Rotary International does not accept these two areas. We have developed that project already, submitted it to our district, and total works out to almost $400,000, and we do need support.
Okay, so you'll need to send us lots of names.
So 50 schools we can cover. In fact, if we split it, it would be 100 schools, not only 50. So 100 schools would be a good beginning to start with, and because we have got multiple club activity. So I hope we'll get some support from you.
Well, again, it's not so much from me; it's from the foundation. I mean,
can I come in on this? Because I'm also going to leave in 5 minutes. Let me do my little bit of talk. You know what I suggest is, Larry will arrange for the funding.
Yes.
But what you really need to understand is whether you are talking about the issue of two different programs.
We have divided into two.
So you divide those two and then you make an application.
Yeah.
First you need to raise a local fund.
Yes.
And then he will arrange for the matching fund.
Yeah.
We will all go under global grant.
Yes.
That's where Larry comes in. But as far as the application goes, it goes to the RI office.
Yes.
Okay,
so,
now
we
are going into specifics. I would like this to be general fundamental type of discussion. Okay,
Yeah.
Sharma.
If I am not having any referral from my club, how can you help me?
Well, you will then have to just make an application for a grant. Obviously, if you're getting money from his referrals, it would be unfair to take those and pass the money on to you. I can't promise all the time that we can make it a perfect match. Someone gives me $10 from the US. What are we going to do with that? I probably will put them in another place and accumulate the money till we have a few thousand and then do something. You may luck out with that. But even though you may not know something, your club members will know it. The next door clubs, your friends and neighbors might know people. So I will think more expansively. No one expects you to have everything, but my guess is your friends and neighbors have relatives and friends over there. That would be my hope.
So we will give you referrals. No problem.
That's good.
Right, Larry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have another meeting down the hall.
Friends, how many of you have done literacy projects? Raise your hands.
Point is, when you go to any corporate, the first thing, all of you are knowing about the corporate CSR now, which is compulsory, and all large companies have a specified fund to really give to NGOs like Rotary. But every corporate has a funding plan, and they also decide as to what is the area that they need to spend money on. Some may be on water, somebody could be in literacy, somebody could be in any other field. So you need to first find out which are the corporates which will actually fund literacy. Now we at the centralized body of the literacy committee in India, we are working on the list of corporates that will really fund the literacy programs. And like I know for a fact that water is being funded by, I'll give you an example, by L&T. Water related projects, we've already got a lot of funding in our district from L&T.
Similarly, we know ONGC is doing a lot of e-learning programs, already funding through Rotary, and these are two examples that I need to share with you. So what you need to do is look at corporates in your district first, because that could be an easy approach, because they are part of your club, part of your district. And there could be Rotarians who are part of that company, who would be part of your membership. So they are the first point of approach. The other thing is whether they are meeting the requirement that you have, whether they are funding literacy, for example. So that's what you need to look at. And then slowly build it up. The amount of money which is available in the CSR is phenomenal, unbelievable. So we are just talking about a small fraction right now. But the bigger picture will come up slowly and steadily, because the CSR has just taken off. And a lot of companies are still sitting on how to fund and how to plan their funding. So this is what I thought I'll share with you. Okay?
Can we get this list of corporates?
Yes, we can. We can arrange that. We are working on that. That's what I'm saying. At the India level, we are already looking at various corporates which would already, and we need to, suppose like I go to ONGC, I need to go and talk to the MD that we are as a Rotary now devoted to this cause, and we would request your company to list us as Rotary as an NGO for funding all your education projects. And then once that is done, then we can sort of take.
Then to just a feedback, I think this Punjab National Bank and State Bank of India, these two promote literacy project. Maybe you can enlist them and make use of it.
Punjab National Bank
and State Bank of India, both have a big budget for literacy projects. We are trying to approach them directly, but now that you are at apex level, you are handling, so maybe you can also handle at apex level of the bank. We are handling at zonal level.
Yeah, some more time or you are there?
Any questions? I'll wait for a minute or so. Any other questions on CSR? But we are at a working stage right now. We are working and
we came for money, not for questions.
Okay. Now let's get back to idea exchange. Raj, I'm not able to see you at all. If you can kindly come over, sir. Come to the front, please. And you can also you can have a better discussion, all of you. Yeah. Now this is an idea exchange. May I know if you have any questions about project funding, or you would like to know any aspect of project funding?
This building, as she was mentioning, that maybe nowadays it is considered as part of the global grant. Is it correct or?
No, as on date, you need not take it as a part of the global grant. Am I right, Rishabh? Still is under a pilot situation. You cannot take it, please. Salaries and buildings.
Salaries also?
Yeah.
Then teacher support, how do we do that?
We can plan some training programs for them, and for an honorarium sort of thing only for the training period. But salaries permanently throughout the project period, that is one.
Now we have deleted because we are under this Friendship Exchange program that 5440 USA, they have tried to support one of our projects. So they also told that we remove that salary.
Any other questions? Coimbatore?
Can I have your name, please, just for the record? Yes.
My name is B.C. Srivastava.
Yeah.
Since we are a fairly new club, could you just brief of how do we start this process of getting? We have still not got any grants, or we are just doing it.
How many of you have done a district grant or a global grant?
I am President-elect Amitabh Dasgupta. I am coming from 3291.
3291?
Yes.
Which club?
It's called Rotary Club Calcutta Renaissance.
Okay, Renaissance. Can you please tell us what exactly and how you have done it? It is for the sake of others as well.
Well, in our club we have done a couple of matching grant projects, and with reference to the old grant concept and now the global grant concept, I think we are doing one global grant this year itself, and it's tuned to around $45,000. So what we had done is that.
What is the project, sir?
Okay. Do I need to refer the other older projects, or The completed
global,
ones?
global grant
The
project.
completed projects, I believe?
Yeah.
That will give him a better purview, I believe. Okay. It's a very interesting project. It's mobile bus OT unit that will serve the peoples of Sundarbans, remote villages. So we are having a bus. It's we have a mini OT inside to do some minor surgeries. We have an ophthalmological unit that will do those eye screening camps. Dental unit, small, inbuilt, and this is coming up to around $38,000. That's exactly. I can't give you the exact figures. So we had applied for a global grant. We had our matching grant partner. Our partner was from Rotary Club Nuremberg Weiss Reichswald from Germany. In fact, we are also doing a lot of programs with the Inter-Country Committee that has been existing for the past 40 years. A lot of German clubs are funding good projects in India. So this is one of them. It's called Jivantori, lifeboat. And this is Jivantori 2. The one we had done in our district earlier was a mobile boat clinic that used to go to the deep mangrove regions of Sundarbans to provide this treatment. This, what we did is that we located the vendors. We're going to give the equipments, the bus, that's it. We need a cooperating organization who is going to run the entire thing, the maintenance of the bus, the administration, the local camps. So we had an Human Development Corporation over there who works on this. It's going to be our local cooperating organization. It's also a registered NGO. And so we applied for this global grant. Any questions from your side? Maybe.
How many beneficiaries?
The beneficiaries are quite large because Sundarbans is quite a vast area in the delta region of West Bengal.
Just 1 minute.
This bus clinic is going to cater, we are targeting 3 camps in a month, close to around 1,000 patients to be diagnosed in each of the camps. So that is around 3,000 people in a month. So that is some 36,000 people. That's our target, but maybe we can settle with say 15 to 18,000 people who can be diagnosed and also can be provided who cannot avail city clinics. They can be taken to Calcutta for better treatment, for the secondary treatment.
I don't know how many of you are totally aware of the new grant structure. You are aware. We have moved away from the program orientation to grant orientation in Rotary. Now, as per that, 50% of the DDF after 3 years comes back to you, and up to 50% of that can be utilized by you as a district grant. The district grant is totally at the discretion of the district via the governor and the DRFC, and the procedure is there. But the global grant is a concept wherein you, like a matching grant, you have to have a foreign partner. The minimum amount is $30,000, out of which $15,000 has to be given by the foundation.